how to properly inspect a standard truck and trailer. In this case, where you do the trailer first. If you are just have a truck and no trailer attached, then you would simply just start with your truck. Now, since I have the trailer attached and I'm going to be starting with the trailer, I'm going to start my truck up and leave it running, and that'll give my transmission an opportunity to warm up so that I can get a proper fluid level check on that when it comes time to head that way. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scan my Zonar card. It's going to show me my driver number, and it's going to show me that I could read all my past reports. I'm just going to hit enter. So we have to go according to our truck. An aerial bucket truck would be a bucket, a digger derrick, etc. The ones with the 10, 11 tags. The dump truck is going to be for your 8 tag units, which I'm driving an F-250 here, so I'm going to be using dump truck. Now it'll show me all the reports that have been done in the past, so if you ever get pulled over by DOT or go through a weigh station, you have the opportunity to show them your inspection report. I'm going to read my tag. I'm going to read my black book on my trailer. So now it tells me this trailer, identifies this trailer. So I'm going to hit enter. So trailer front. I'm going to check my air electrical connections and chains. So I'm going to make sure my electrical connections are hooked up. Always want to make sure your chains are crossed and hooked to the truck itself. Make sure that these are completely 100% operational, in which they are. Body, bed, underneath. So I'm going to check the body of the truck, make sure it's nice and solid. I'm going to look underneath, look for rust, erosion. I'm going to check out the condition of the wood, the platform, all looks solid. Coupling devices. I'm going to check my coupling device, make sure it's nice and secure to the truck, make sure I have my safety pin in here. Hitch and kingpin. My hitch is good, my kingpin's in, my safety lock pin is in my kingpin. Landing gear. Make sure your landing gear is all the way up. Make sure it's fully operational. And it is. So now I'm going to check lights. I'm going to turn my lights on, and I'm going to ask my spotter to tell me how my lights are. Spotter! Left turn signal. Right turn signal. This is mandatory by the DOT, and it's called your DOT tape. All of it looks good on this trailer. Checking my reflectors. All of my reflectors look good. Checking my plate. And that looks good. It also says roof on here. That's going to be for your enclosed trailers, which does not apply. Now I'm going to check, make sure it has a document holder, and I'm going to check my registration, which is good, December 2099. It's always good to keep these in plastic bags inside your trailer tube because the trailer tubes aren't weatherproof. Now I'm going to go around. Oh, my DOT inspection also is right here. Make sure your DOT inspection is in date. This says 10/24, so it's good a year from that date. So 10/25 is when that DOT inspection expires. These have tags just like the trucks do. So I have one here. For my left side. One over here for my right side. I'm gonna enter yes. This also has your body bed roof, your brakes, doors for enclosed, license plate, load secure, which we have chains and binders ready for our load, suspension, tires, wheels, lugs, warning lights, and signs. So you're gonna do the same thing with the trailer as you would with the truck. I'm gonna check my tread depth with my gauge and make sure it's in the green. Which it is. I'm gonna check my tire pressure. If you don't know what your tire pressure is, it'll say on here what your tire pressure should be. 65. So I'm going to take my tire pressure gauge. 60. So we're going to need to add some air to this tire. I'm going to go around to all the tires and do the exact same thing. I also want to check my lug nuts. Make sure all my lug nuts are secure. You don't have to wrench on them. Just make sure they're snug. Make sure they're tight. Once that's complete, I'm going to hit yes. Now I'm going to go to my truck. By doing my trailer prior to my truck, I have now linked that trailer to this truck. So now I'm going to scan my black tag. It's going to show me my truck number. I'm going to hit enter. Now I have to enter my zones. So my cab interior, it's going to be my yellow puck up there. Now I'm going to check, I'm going to get in the truck. I'm going to check my brakes, my clutch, there's not applicable, my gauges, make sure all my gauges are operational, heat, defrost, AC, make sure that's operational, my parking brake, my service brake where applicable, seats and belts, make sure your seat belt doesn't have any rips, frays, tears, make sure it clips in properly, which it does, steering and horn, transmission PTO, windows, mirrors, check for cracks, chips, wipers and washer, make sure that the wipers are in good condition, satisfactory condition, and hit enter. Now I have to go to my left rear, but before I leave the cab, I want to always make sure that I have my driver's license as well as my DOT med card on me where applicable. If you're driving a DOT vehicle, you have to carry your DOT med card on you at all times. I also want to check my binder for my documents to make sure everything's in date. I have my registration, expires 1/31/26. I have my New York State identification card for insurance, expires 9/15/25. State inspection where applicable. DOT inspection where applicable. You want to make sure you have all these in your binder and that your binder's in a secure location yet still obtainable for if you get pulled over. I'm now going to shut my truck off. My transmission should be warm enough to check when we get to the engine compartment. So now it wants me to go to my left rear. So here's my left rear tag. It says body. Check the body. Look for any dents, damage that wasn't there before. Backup alarm. Spotter. Can I have you behind my truck, please? Not all trucks this size have backup alarms, but this is a great opportunity to utilize my spotter to check and make sure all my lights are working back there. So I'm in reverse. Reverse is good. I'm going to put it back in park. I'm going to do left turn signal, right turn signal, and brakes. Never use your hazard lights to check your turn signals. A lot of the newer vehicles have LED lights in their hazard lights and can give you a false positive or a false negative. So now it says suspension. Go ahead, bounce your vehicle. See if your suspension is good or loose. Same thing with my tires. You gotta check your wheels, your lug nuts. Take your tire tread gauge. You take your tire tread gauge, put it in your tire, make sure it's in the green. Check your lug nuts, make sure they're tight. Check your tire pressure with a pressure gauge. Make sure it's within the proper pressure. Add air if you need to add air. It'll definitely improve your ride, your fuel economy, your tow. It'll improve everything if you're at the right. So if everything's satisfactory, I'm going to hit yes. So now it tells me left front. So we're going to go to the front. Need the tag. Same thing, brakes. And good indication of needing brakes is brake dust on the rim. I don't see any brake dust on the rim, so the brakes are going to be good on this. You can also usually look in and see your pad and see a nice chunk of pad. Make sure your rotors are nice and shiny and they don't have any grooves or pits in them, which might be an indication of a warped rotor. Check your lug nuts with your lug nut wrench. I pop these off with a flathead screwdriver. Check these. Check your air pressure. Check your depth. Lights front, I used my spotter to do my lights front while I check my lights in back. Windshield, I'm going to check my windshield for any hits, cracks, scratches. I can also utilize the time to check my wipers while I'm out here and give you a better idea of what condition they're in. Exhaust system. How does my exhaust sound? Do I hear anything out of the ordinary? Is it louder than usual? Is it anything that I need to report to my warehouse coordinator for repair? Frame and hydraulics. Hydraulics don't typically come into play on a vehicle of this size, but when you get into your booms, your bucket trucks, your digger derricks, that's what you're going to experience your hydraulic lines. You want to look for leaks. Fuel tank and steps. That's for a larger truck. You're going to have your fuel tank typically in this area with your def tank. Outriggers. Again, your outriggers are what level your larger vehicle. Make sure they're all the way in the up position when getting ready to leave. Suspension. Same thing again. Just going to bounce my truck. Make sure it's nice and tight. Tires, wheels, lugs. We just went over that. Depth. Air, lug nuts, check them. Everything satisfactory, hit yes. So now we're at the engine compartment. At this point, I'm going to shut my truck off. I'm going to pop the hood. Right here should be a tag. I'm going to read that tag. So my air compressor, which is my AC and my batteries. Looking at my batteries, this one has a lot of corrosion. And this one has a lot of corrosion. So on here, I'm going to report that. I'm going to hit no, go down to battery, corroded. Safe to proceed? Yes. That will need to be wire brushed up. Belts and hoses. We're going to check our hoses, make sure there's no cracks, make sure there's no leaks, feel your belt. Look at your belt. If you need to get on a step stool and get up there, that's fine. But check your belts. Your belts have the lines. They shouldn't have a ton of cracks in them. If your belts have a bunch of cracks in them, then that's going to affect, you can break down, because your alternator can break down, your water pump can break down, your AC, all is powered off that same main belt. So brake fluid. This is our power steering. I'll check it while we're right here. And that's at the max line, so that's perfect. We have our transmission fluid, so we're going to check this. Make sure you check this when the truck is warm. You should have a nice, clean, clear fluid. And I have that nice, clean, clear fluid. It even says check hot. So this is the ad, and as you can see, it's right up in the level where it needs to be. That nice, clean fluid. I'm going to check the oil next. This is a diesel truck. Diesels are known to have, the way they go through their oil, they're known to have a darker oil. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be due for an oil change. So you're going to need to go by your sticker in the window as far as your oil change. Make sure you wipe it off first and re-dip it. You'll never get an accurate reading on the first try. And as you can tell, we are at the perfect level. See, it's that dark color, but that doesn't mean it's bad. This truck actually just came back from service. Checking my coolant, it's right here at the max line, so the coolant is perfect. I'm going to check my windshield washer fluid. That's nice and full. Excellent. So now that we have checked everything on here, we're going to hit yes. Now it's waiting for a tag. We're going to go around to left side of the vehicle, right side of the vehicle. Same thing as the other side. We're going to check our brakes, the hood, fender, grille, license plate, exhaust system, frame, fuel tank, if the fuel tank were to be on this side. Outriggers do not apply to this truck. Suspension, we checked our suspension. Tires, wheels, lugs. Again, every single tire. Check your tread depth. Check your air. This one looks low. Check your lugs. Check your suspension on this side. We already checked our lights. Our grill is good. No cracks or damage on our grill. It's all nice and tight. License plate is secure. I'm going to look underneath, make sure I don't see any leaks, which I don't. I don't see any rust, don't see any corrosion, don't see anything of concern. So I'm going to hit yes. So now I'm going to go down to my right rear. Exact same thing, body, brakes, axle, sideboard, lights, reflectors, outrigger, suspension, tires, wheels, lugs. Do I see any damage on this side of the truck? I don't see any new damage on this side of the truck. I'm going to check my tread depth. I'm going to check my air. I'm going to check my tires, my lugs. Make sure my cap is secure. I'm going to check my suspension. I'm going to check my brakes. You're not going to be able to see in these because the rear are shoe, but again, even with shoe, you'll be able to see brake dust, and that'll be an indication of poor brakes. I'm going to check my license plate back here. Nice and secure. Good to go. I had my spotter when he was behind. Check my license plate lights. Check all my rear lights. So I'm gonna hit yes. So we have good on every single zone except the engine compartment because of the corroded battery. We have one zone left, and that's gonna be safety. Your safety tag can be anywhere in your truck. It could be on the side here. It could be in the front, up top. So you really have to look for your safety tag. The safety tag in this particular truck happens to be in the back seat where all the safety equipment is. Your first aid kit inside and fire extinguisher inside decals need to always be on the truck, not on the window, because if the window gets rolled down, you lose those decals. They need to be on the side of the truck where the equipment is located in case of an emergency. We know exactly where to go, exactly where to find this. If your truck is a diesel vehicle, you want to make sure you have a diesel fuel only decal on it. It will have a green cap as well, but we need to make sure we have the decals also. Here's my safety tag. I'm going to scan my safety tag. Fire extinguisher. My fire extinguisher has to be in a cradle. If it were an accident, a severe accident, this could go flying and injure somebody. So this is securely in a cradle. I'm going to check and make sure that this is in the green, which it is. I'm going to check the tag. This was inspected July of 24, which means it's good until July of 25. It's good a year from the inspection tag. I'm going to take my safety kit. I'm going to make sure there's enough supplies in it, as to which it is. Please keep in mind that your safety kit for your site and your safety kit for your truck are two different safety kits. Same with your fire extinguisher. You want to have one at your site and one in your truck. Check your triangles. Make sure you have 3 triangles ready to go in case of breakdown, in which we do. We have these reflector triangles. Accident report. Accident reports are located in the truck binder, which we went through earlier. Warning label. We went through all of our labels. Cab condition. Make sure your truck stays clean. I know you're on the road all week working hard. If you need to, throw a garbage bag in your truck, fill it up. At the end of the week, if you stop at a gas station, toss it. You don't want a water bottle flying around. A water bottle could actually be a DOT violation. If you stop quickly, that water bottle gets lodged underneath your brake, gets lodged underneath your gas pedal. That could be cause for an accident. Cab condition. Looks pretty clean. Load secured. We don't have a load on, however, we are properly prepared for a load. Anytime you have equipment, you always want to use chains and binders. If you're using straps, you want to make sure your working load limit matches what you're putting on your trailer. Placards, we've already went over all our proper placards, and we aren't carrying any corrosive or harmful flammable liquids, so we don't need to necessarily pertain to placards on this trip. So I'm going to hit yes. And now we have G's, which means good for everything. Oh, now it's saying that I missed a tag. So I'm going to have to go back. This is a good example. See the question mark, rear bumper hitch? We missed that. This is a good way to double check yourself. So we have our tag right here. Brake, turn signal, tail light for right and left. We already had our spotter check our lights. Bumper and hitch. Our bumper looks good. It's not broken. It's nice and solid. Our hitch is nice and locked in like it's supposed to be. Our tailgate is in good condition. Our cap is closed. Mud flaps. We don't have mud flaps on this particular truck. On the larger trucks, you want to make sure you have mud flaps. Coupling devices. Everything is excellent here. We did that as part of the trailer, but it does not hurt to have to do things twice. This is safety. This is serious. So this is on here. We have our pin through here and other. So I'm going to hit yes. So now it asks me, I certify that the report submitted is true and accurate. I have reviewed the previous report and certification of required repairs. Yes. So now it's going to store it in this 2010 handheld. In order to send this to my fleet manager and my market management, I need to place it in the cradle. There's a cradle right here. Once that snaps into the cradle, not only is it recharging that handheld, but it's going to send the report through Wi-Fi to upper management. And that corrosive battery, since that was a failure, that's going to go right to my fleet manager. They'll be able to see on their computer via email that I had a failure on this truck, and then they'll take the proper procedure to do what they need to do. If you ever have any questions, reach out to your warehouse coordinator, reach out to your safety team, reach out to your fleet team, reach out to management, reach out to anybody. They'd be more than happy to help you. Thank you.